All right, so tonight we have Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds are one of the more popular or well-known folk tales, folklores for the North American indigenous people. They are supernatural beings. They have immense strength, immense power, and serious rage issues. You do not want to get on a Thunderbird's bad side. Trust. They have a footprint in many different cultures, but one of the through threads through these cultures is that Thunderbirds are protectors. So rather they are protecting from some other supernatural being or supernatural creature, or rather they're protecting people from themselves. They have this role as a protector. So interesting fun fact, or fun fact, interesting side note, whichever one of those works for you. Thunderbirds are cryptids. So what is a cryptid? A cryptid is like your Bigfoot or your Loch Ness Monster. There is the study of cryptids, which is cryptozoology. It is a real thing. It is a pseudoscience that studies and tries to prove the existence of these folklore creatures. Had I known when I was in college that such a thing really existed, I may have made different life choices. Back to our regularly scheduled Thunderbird program. So Thunderbirds are found in the Pacific Northwest, they're found in the Southwest, they're found in the plains, Thunderbirds are not found in the South. It's really easier to just say where they are not than to go through the list of various places that they are, because when I say that they're in multiple cultures, they are literally in multiple cultures with the exception of the South. Many cultures believe that Thunderbirds are giant birds. The Algonquin people, for example, they believe that the Thunderbird is the protector of or controls the upper world, and that its enemies that it normally fights are the water panther and the great serpent. The Thunderbird is able to create, or it gets its name because when it flaps its wings, it creates thunder. It also shoots lightning out of its eyes, which, sign me up for a bag of that. I want the lightning eyes. The Ojibwa people believe that the Thunderbird was created by Nana Bosho, or Nana Bush, who created this to fight spirits and also to protect people and to punish the immoral people. So, interesting fact about Nana Bush is that it is seen as the trickster. So he is from a human mother and a spirit, father spirit. Most of the times he appears as a rabbit, but he does have the ability to shapeshift into a human. So, pretty cool. But before we go too far down that rabbit hole, pun intended, let's back it up and go back to Thunderbirds. So the Menominee people believe that the Thunderbird lives on a floating island, that it controls rain and hail and other elements. They believe that it is an avid fighter. I told you it had rage issues. That it celebrates good deeds when good deeds are done. Like the Algonquins, the Thunderbird's main enemy was also the great horned serpent. So a lot of these different cultures have the same theories and the same thing. The Thunderbird may shift a little bit from one to the other, and the enemy may shift a little bit from one to the other, but a lot of them, they have that same kind of thread throughout, with the enemies, with the purpose, and with the Thunderbird itself. The Ho-Chuk people believe that if you go on a vision quest and have a vision of a Thunderbird, that means you're going to become a great war chief. There are other cultures that believe that Thunderbirds have the ability to shapeshift into people, and that they live amongst them to kind of provide counsel and guidance along the way. And then there's other cultures that we go back to the whole Thunderbird and the protection and rage issues. They are very angry, fearsome creatures, but they're believed to be benevolent. I think that's very important, that the Thunderbird is believed to be benevolent, but that it's not afraid to punish people that it feels have broken the law or have transgressed in some sort of way. Possibly one of the most common places that people see Thunderbirds today are on totem poles. We have one in Chicago that's on the north side of the Lakeshore Drive, that every time I pass it, it doesn't matter how many times I pass it, even if I'm driving, I always, kind of sneak a quick glance over there. I just There's something about the Thunderbird that's just magical and powerful and awe-inspiring, and it's probably one of my favorite folklores from Indigenous Native American people culture. I just that and the trickster. There's just something about the Thunderbird that just captures my heart so much. I also firmly believe, that Rodan of the Godzilla movies is a Thunderbird. He just has it. I know that when he flies, it's the wind, but I think that he's the inspiration for that, and he kind of embodies that. So, what does this mean for Cambion-Rider Chronicles? Well, the heart of a Thunderbird is protection. Rather they're protecting from people from themselves, or rather they're protecting them from some supernatural external force. The heart of it is protectors, and that's really what the heart of a dragon rider is. A dragon rider is really about protecting people. In my universe, it's from demons, not giant horned serpents, but it's from demons and anything else that they have to protect people from. The other aspect of it, as kind of like the scion of this Thunderbird, is that the dragon riders embody that rage as well, sometimes to detrimental, effects. So that's kind of something to stay tuned for and watch for, because sometimes the dragon rider can let their anger or their self-righteousness get a little bit ahead of them and maybe get them into a little bit of hot water. So next up, we will have the amazing and magnificent Kali, and what she is all about, and how her attributes transfer over to my dragon rider. So stay tuned for that. Hope you'll learn something, and talk to you next time. Bye.